Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Destiny from Desphixs and welcome back to another video in the e-commerce platform using Django. In this one, we'll get started setting up our administrator panel, and basically what we'll be doing is installing a package that we'll be using to style up the Django admin and also making migrations, creating super users, and finally configuring the admin in the settings PY. This is what we'll be doing. Hopefully you will enjoy it and learn something new. So let's get started. I want you to begin by opening up your code editor, and you can spin up your server, and hopefully this is visible enough for everyone. In case it isn't, let me go ahead and zoom in one more time. So go ahead and spin up your server by running python manage py run server. So after running your server, if you scroll up a little bit, you will see this warning over here. This warning means that there are changes in our database that haven't been applied yet. Specifically, there are 18 updates from the apps like the admin, the auths, the content types, and sessions that needs to be set up. And to fix this, we will need to run the command python manage.py migrate, just like it's suggested over here. And I want you to think of it like putting together the pieces of a puzzle. Until you do that, some parts of your projects might not function properly as they should. So we need to go ahead and put the piece of puzzle together by basically running this command over here. So you could quit your server by hitting Ctrl+C on your keyboard, and we paste this python manage py migrate, then hit enter on your keyboard. But for now, you can see it says Python is not recognized. That is because Python keyword doesn't work for me, but instead Py works for me. So this is just based on how I installed Python on my machine. Now Python keyword might work for you, or Py might work for you. Anyone should still work. After that, you can see that it now applied all those tables or changes to our database. Now try running your server again, python manage py run server. It will spin up the server for us now without the errors. So you could see it says system check identified, no issues, 0 silenced. If for any reason there was an issue, it will say something like system check identified 2 issues or 3 issues or 4, depending on how many issues that your system is encountering. So now that this is done, let's go ahead and open up the settings PY. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we don't have the package installed yet, so I will show you guys how it will actually work. Now hold down Ctrl on your keyboard and click on this URL here to open it up on your browser. Remember the hello world from the last time. So now I want you to come over to /admin and hit enter. Now you can see that it's saying that we should log into this administrator panel over here, and we got the /admin basically from here in the URLs PY, where it's configured like this. So now we need to put in some username here and also some password to log in. But what username and what password should we put in? Let's say this is your very first time seeing the Django admin and you're like, okay, but I don't have any authentication system yet. What username and what password should I put in? And you just tried putting in something random. You can see that it yells at you and say that, hey, the username or password is incorrect. Please enter the correct username and password for a staff account. Now, that is when creating a super user comes to play. So super user is pretty much the overall user or the first person that will access the administrator panel, which means they are the one that will have all the overall performance over the site. So to create a super user, you just need to run py manage.py create super user, then hit enter on your keyboard. Then now you need to follow the prompt. The username, I'm going to leave it as Destiny. The email address, I will leave it at destiny@gmail.com. The password, testing321. Then verify password, testing321. There you go. Super user created successfully. Now let's go ahead and run our server one more time. Okay. Now open up your browser again and you can reload this page if you want. Let me come over to /admin, remove all this order. Next. Then over here, put in the username that we created, Destiny, put in the password, testing321, then log in. There you go. Can you see we're now able to log into the admin And this is basically what we have right now. Nothing crazy, and it's still very simple. So the very first thing that I like doing is styling up my admin page and making it look good, because we'll be spending almost a good chunk of our time in the administrator panel, testing things out, playing around with things, and for the meantime, manipulating data. So we need it to be visually appealing to us so that we can work with it. Now we'll be using this package called Jazzmin. So I want you to come over to Django, that's Jazzmin.readthedocs.io, and we need to basically install this package that will help us start our Django admin. Now I want you to read through this because they've got a lot of features. Just go through it when you're less busy or after the video and see how to play around with it. So now I'm going to click on installation, and you need to go ahead and install this. Pip install Django Jazzmin. So we need to go ahead and install this package, pip install Django Jazzmin. And if you have already installed the packages from the requirements txt, you don't need to do this anymore. All you then need to do is take this and install it in your Django settings py, installed app section. So you do this over here at the top. That should be here. And please do not forget to add a comma or you will break your settings py. So if you don't add a comma, you will get this error that showed here. So after this now, all you need to do is come over to your Django admin again and reload the page. And there you go. It's now working perfectly well with the new configurations. So now I want you to go ahead and play with this. There is a lot of things here that you can work with. Come over to configuration and work with all this over here and see what it does. So this is going to change the site title, site header, site brand. And if you want to work with all this, all you need to do is just copy this whole configuration code here, come over to your settings py, and you can scroll all the way to the bottom. That's where I like doing it. Then paste all this over here. Let me close up this. Then you can see how this looks. So now if you come over to your Django admin again and reload, okay, firstly, no reverse for set language. So what you could do over here is switch up the language. Let's see this language chooser. For now, I don't really need this, so I will just go ahead and remove it. Let me see where we also have language. Reload. There you go. Now, can you see library is showing up here? We've got some footer text down here and a couple of things seems to change. Now, one other thing that I want you to do is in the Jazzmin settings for this one, show UI builder, I want you to turn it to true. So by turning this to true, you will be able to actually use your own builder to manipulate the site. So you will now see this button show up here. Clicking on this will help you change up the designs to whatever you want. And after you're done changing the design, scroll all the way to the bottom, click on show code, copy this whole code here, and put it in your settings py again down here. So if you don't put this code down, if you don't put that code in the settings py, after making all your tweaks and changes here and reload the page, it's not going to retain the changes. So you need to register this in your code for you to actually know what changes you want to use. Now, if I reload my page, there you go. It's working as expected. Very good. But for the sake of this tutorial, I will just stick to the default settings of the Jazzmin. So I'm going to remove all this for now and stick to just the default settings. That's actually a lot. Okay, very good. So I think that is pretty much it for this tutorial. Hopefully you've seen how to make migrations, what they do. It's basically a way to actually bring your applications together and create tables in the database. And you've also seen how to create superuser, how to install Jazzmin and some Jazzmin configurations. And I will also highly recommend that you go through the documentation here to see everything that you will need. And one more thing that I want to show you guys is the GitHub materials that you will be using. So if you check the link in the description below, you will be able to see that I've actually left some link for you guys. And if you're interested, you could go ahead and grab this e-commerce source code, click on it. I'm going to leave it in the description below, and it's going to give you a step-by-step guide to actually get the source code. And also you will see this one called Fast Cat Project Materials. So this one over here will basically help you download all the materials that we'll be using, like the requirements txt, the settings py, and all its configurations, the source code txt, in case you still want to get the source code. This env template here is also the one that you will use, that we will be using maybe in the next video or in the upper one, to configure environment variables. So I've provided all those ones for you guys. You could go ahead and just download this to your PC, and always check back here because I will keep updating this. Okay. And if you need the source code, I'm also going to leave the link in the description. You could go through this step-by-step guide to get the source code. Just read this to know which one is more important for you. And this also, I think this should be more easy. If there is any way to simplify this in the future, I'm going to do it. You could also let me know if this is too complex for you to read or if it's easy to get through. So that is it for this tutorial. In the next one, I will get started with every other thing that we'll be doing, and yeah, hopefully see where it leads us. I hope to see you in the next video. Consider dropping a like, subscribing to the channel, as it will really mean the world to me. And also, just like I've told you guys, I am building an application that will help us become better programmers with a lot of features like tutorial code with steps, interview prep, coding challenges, practical Q&A, learning streak. And just today, I have been able to add one more feature, which is a feature that will help you play around with designs. For those that are interested in stepping up their front-end skills, you'll be able to play real-time front-end games that should help you learn CSS, Tailwind, Bootstrap, Boomer in a fun and interactive way. We'll be shipping all this out soon. I will highly recommend that you drop in your email over here so that you'll be one of the first people that will get notified as soon as we launch. And just so you guys know, this will be very interesting for everyone to step up their coding game, including me and you. That is it. I hope to see you in the next video, and until then, mad love, peace out.